Hello friends, welcome to introduction to PLC session. In this session, we will see what is PLC and how it works. Okay. In general, PLC is an electronic machine or electronic device which takes inputs from the external or field devices, external world or field devices. I hope you all know about the field devices. Field devices in automation term like normal push buttons, limit switches, flow switches, switches. There are so many things will be coming or heat, pressure, temperature, whatever. Those are all the things we are inputting to the PLCs, correct? So you are feeding the input. Okay. PLC, what it does, it takes inputs from the field devices like push button, whatever I was told, and it will process this information. It processes this information in the CPU. Okay, CPU is an decision taking authority. It will take the decision based on the user program, correct? What is the user program? User program is very simple. Okay, it is an your requirement. If say for example, if it is an heating application, you want to maintain the temperature above 80 degrees Celsius and less than 95 degrees Celsius. So what it will do, it will keep on monitoring the temperature from the input device. What is input device in case of heating application? Thermocouple. So thermocouple will give the feedback of process to the CPU via input section. Okay, then what happens? It will keep on monitoring the temperature. If the temperature is below 85 degrees Celsius, it will turn on the heaters. Okay, then what happens? The heat will again starts rising. If temperature is going above 90 or 95 degrees Celsius or the set above high limit, if it is crossing high limit, CPU will turn off the heaters so that again the temperature will be maintained according to your user program. Correct? This is what will happen. So what happened here? You are giving the thermocouple input here. Let me write here so that you can understand. Here what happens? A heater on off. Correct? Heater is controlled here and thermocouple. What thermocouple does here? Thermocouple will give the thermocouple gives temperature feedback. What it does? It gives temperature feedback. Okay. So then what happens? CPU will take decision accordingly. The output section what happens? Output section will be activated depending on the CPU's direction. So how CPU will take the decision depending on the your user program. Correct? Let me see here. What is happening here? Here here we have say we have some heater here, heating element. Correct? So it is controlled by output section. So again it is controlled by some switches. I am not showing it in the diagram. So there will be a switch like contactor K1. When this contactor is turned on, it will connect the input AC supply to the heater. Thereby heater will start heating the heating operation. Correct. So again when the temperature falls below set value, again the input will give the feedback to the CPU. Again CPU will turn on the heater. When it reaches set value, again it will turn off the contactor. Thereby the heater will be disconnected from the power supply. So the process or your heating application will be running according to your specification. So this is what will happen in the PLC. What it does, it will read the temperature uh, input from the external devices. Okay, through devices. Input may be anything. In our this thing I will just a minute. There are two types of inputs can be connected. Two types of inputs. What are those types? One is digital input or analog input can be inputted. There are two types of inputs can be connected to the PLC, correct? And there are two types of outputs can be controlled. What are those types of outputs? Like, let me explain here. Again, same thing. Digital output and analog output. Okay. So what is happening? PLC will read inputs, either it is digital or analog from the field devices. Okay, through some suitable sensors, and this input section will give this information to the CPU, central processing unit, and central CPU will take the decision based on the user program. Okay, and then output is initiated depending on whether it has to be turned on or off. Based on the CPU, it will give the information to the contactor, as I told you earlier. So this is how a PLC works. Okay, I will stop here. In the next session we will see about different sections. First we will see about the input section, and we will see about the output section, and what is digital input, what are the analog input, digital output, analog output, everything one by one we will see, so that you will get some very good idea of PLC. Thank you.